All right, today's total body fitness is going to be arm focused. For today, you're going to need light weights and medium weights, heavy weights, maybe some resistance bands. And if you happen to have a large stability ball, we might use that as well today. But if you don't, you can always use an ottoman or something else that's elevated off the floor. So without further ado, let's get started. Shoulder shrugs, bringing the shoulders up towards the ears and lower. And relax, shake the arms. Shoulder circles or rolls. Reverse the direction. And shake the arms. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to put one hand onto a leg so you can just kind of let the arms swing. Relaxing the arm, trying to let it just kind of hang heavy. And then change. And then come back to the center. We're going to do standing cat and cow. So you're going to push the arms forward around the spine and then pull back. One more. And release. Shake out a leg. And then give me high knees. Twist. Bring your feet about shoulder width apart and rotate from side to side. Gently. And then bring your feet together for side bends. Quick quad stretch. So if you need to hold on to something, grab your wall or your chair and grab a hold of your foot. And change other side. And then we're going to go into some lunges. Here would be an opportunity if you have yoga blocks to use them, but you don't have to. And just step near the edge of your mat. Hands come down near your feet. Step your right foot back. And then change. 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 And last one. And come back up. All right, shake that out. All right, hip circles, bringing the leg across the body, rotate it around. And then coming back into the arms, we're going to bring the arms open to a T, and you're going to do palms up and back, and then palms forward and back. So creating a rotation through your shoulder. And let's alternate. One arm up and back, and then switch, and switch. And let's add the shoulders into it as well. So you're really going to try to take your shoulder forward and back, creating a little bit of a twist through the body as well. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Relax the arm, shake them out. You're going to take your right arm and you're going to bring it around your head as far back as you can with the elbow bent and roll it back down, and then switch the other side. Left arm, you're going to bring it over your head, behind your head, getting as much rotation that you can through the shoulder blade, lifting it up, move that shoulder blade around. So you may feel snap, crackles, and pops. Those are normal. Pain, however, is not. So if you just have any discomfort, don't go quite as far into the movement or skip the movement altogether. Let's do one more each side. Let's do some calf raises, work in the feet, get some blood flow in the feet and the calves. Up and down you go. All right, let's get your large stability ball out. You're going to come down onto the knees and you're going to put your forearms on the ball. And you're going to just stir the pot. So imagine you have a pot of chili and you're going to take a giant circle, scraping the edges. But instead of just the hands on the ball, you're going to put your forearms on the ball and you're going to stir that pot. You want to keep your belly button pulled in so that you can work your core. I don't have a lot of weight in my elbows, but it's enough that I feel. And then roll the other way. And then let's stretch out the shoulders, bring your hips back towards your heels and extend the ball forward. And come back up. Next we're going to do the roly-poly. Roly-poly is my affectionate name for the movement because it's not easy to do. You're going to put your forearms back on the ball, clasp the hands. You're going to curl your toes under and lift your knees up off the floor. Now the objective is to stand up, not all the way upright because you're going to keep your elbows on your ball, but you're going to push down. Nothing touches the ball but the forearms. You're going to kind of roll that ball backwards as you lift your hips up and onto your heel as you go into a deep squat. Then you're going to roll back forward and lower down. So you're working your shoulders, your core, thighs. Yes, here we go. Push down, roll it back. And roll forward. And if all you can do is just get your knees up, that's step one. All right, just pushing down, getting the knees up is its own challenge. And the smaller your ball, mine's pretty small, it's much harder. If you got a larger ball that lifts you up a little bit, that does make it easier. So the challenge is based on your ball size. Let's try another one. Nice. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna sit on the ball. And you're gonna lift your hips up just a little bit. Not enough to take it off the ball, but enough that you still stay attached, otherwise your ball might roll away from you. Yes, and you don't want that to happen. So you're doing little squats, but they're really deep squats, right? So you're pushing up and then sitting down. You should put your thighs working, maybe your inner thighs, depending on how wide your legs are. All right, let's do one more. Yes. All right, make your way up to standing. Move your ball out of the way and grab your light weights. I'm gonna grab 3 pounds. Okay, so let's start with a front arm raise. Take the palms and face the thighs. Your elbows are slightly flexed. Stomach is strong and your knees are soft. Arms come forward and release. Moving at your pace. Three more. 2 more. And last one. Nice. Next, we're going to bring these arms out to the side. So hands now are at the sides of your legs. Head back, shoulders back. Your stomach is strong. I kind of feel like when I say strong, I feel like I'm like starting to do a sit-up. Bringing my ribs towards my hip bones, kind of tightening up through that core center. Then we're going to bring the arms open. Now they're open to the side, but if I look straight forward, I can see them a little bit in my peripheral vision. Elbows are slightly bent. Four more. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the weights together and we're going to do some figure eights. So you're going to separate your feet about shoulder width apart and bend the knees, and you're going to row the boat, creating a figure 8. So starting to add a twisting element and working more of your biceps. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Relax your arms, a little shake. All right, next you're going to do a bent over row. So feet are going to come closer together, about hip width distance apart. You're going to bend your knees a little bit and hinge. Now a hip hinge, I think my butt goes back so that my spine stays straight. Once again, I have the core engaged. Arms are going to come out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. So next we're going to use the ball again and we're going to do a skull crusher. So get the weights that you feel you can bring up over your head and back. So you can either stay with your 2 lights, but I prefer a 1 weight skull crusher, so I'm going to switch to my 8-pound weight. Okay, so the first thing you would do is sit on your ball. And then once you get there, you're going to walk forward, and as you walk forward, you're starting to lean back. Caution note, don't walk and look up at the ceiling. You'll get really dizzy. So when you're walking to get on your back, look forward at the wall in front of you as you're leaning back. Still I'm looking forward. I can see my whole living room over there. All right, and then once you get the ball closer to your shoulders, you're going to lift your hips up and put your back at the back of the head on the ball. Think bridge. And then from there, you're going to take the weight up, you're going to bend the elbows. You're going to bring the weight over your head towards the floor and then back up. Squeeze your glutes so you can work your hips and your thighs. Your belly is pulling in a little bit, like I've got a pair of pants that don't fit. It's not real strong, but it's in. Bring the weight over and back up. Over and back up. The work is in the over. That's where you want to try to hold that a little bit. When you got it over your head, don't be in a hurry to get out of that position, because that's where you're stretching and strengthening. underneath your armpits, the back of the arms, your triceps, got a little bit of the serratus, sides of your ribs. Do 2 more. And last one. Okay, so you're gonna let your hips come down and your head come back forward. Now we're gonna do hip thrusts. So if you need to walk yourself up a little bit, so that you get your feet a little more underneath you, you're gonna place the weight right in your hip crease. And you're gonna keep looking forward. And you're gonna think almost a cat and cow. Let my butt kind of drop back. And then I'm gonna thrust it up, kind of tucking the pelvis under. Okay? Back and thrust. And thrust. Five more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to keep the hips up. That way you're going to work your thighs and your glutes even longer. You're going to take your one weight, okay? We're going to do a 1-arm chest press. So if you've got 2 weights, just keep one on your body. You're going to get your head back on the ball. So roll hips up, and you're going to take the arm out slightly. Not too far out to the side, slightly. Then you're going to press it up, straight up over your shoulder. You want to feel the back of the arm tap down to your ball, and then push. 1, 2, steady the ball. 3, 4, glutes on, hips are high. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Change arms. And we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You bring your head up and lower your hips down. And you can either just roll off your ball and put your weight down, or you can walk yourself back up. Just depends if your feet are sloping or not. Kind of hard to do it when you like a cat or a dog on a slick floor. All right, you're going to come onto our bellies, onto the ball, and you're going to need your light weights. And on your stomach, you're going to do some rear delt work here. So the first thing I feel like I'm doing is I'm getting myself into a plank with the ball supporting underneath my body. So I've got my feet wide and the weight back into the balls of my feet. Okay, my legs are tight. I'm squeezing my thighs and I'm lifting my head and my shoulders. Now from here, I'm going to relax the arms and let myself come down, and then I'm going to bring the arms out to the T and lower back down. Out to the T, or maybe just bent elbows if it's too much, and back down. Have an extra challenge of dog-licking face. He waits all day for me to get down like this so he can lick my face. He's like, oh, good, Mom. Thanks for getting in a good position for me. I can come and give you an extra challenge anytime. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And take rest. So come down onto your knees and just kind of roll over your ball, stretching out your back. All right, next you're going to use your ball one more time, and you're going to come further into plank, meaning that now you're going to have the ball further down by your knees. So you gotta give yourself some runway. Yeah. Coming onto the ball, walk your hands out. We're going to do knee tucks. So once you get your hands out there, you want to feel like you're now in a really strong plank with your arms, and you're going to bend the knees and pull the ball towards your arms, balancing the knees on the ball. Now, special note, you want to look forward, as far forward as you can, and it probably will be more on the floor than actually the wall, but you don't want to look back at your ball, especially if you have a really tall ball, you might roll off your ball. So looking forward, pull up, 1. Strong arms, straight arms, 2. Looking forward, not at your ball, 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. All right, we can take a rest, roll it back, come down onto your knees, and go move your ball out of the way. All right, we're going to come into a side plank with one of the light weights. Now you can do this modified on your knees and on your elbow, and we're going to do a straight arm raise. So that's what I usually like to do, but if you want to do the full plank, either with your feet stacked or staggered, with everything off the ground except for your feet and your elbow, that's totally cool. All right, so hips come up, strong arm, strong core, and the arm is going to straight arm raise up to the ceiling and back down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, other side. All right, strong elbow, strong hips, arm raises. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And banana and coffee today, so obviously Ray likes that combination. All right, so next we're going to sit and we're going to do internal rotations with the arms and the weights. So I want you to do it without a weight first. So you can pick with your seating position. I like to kind of cross one leg under. That way I've got a knee to prop up. And then you're going to bring the arm down, creating a rotation. You should feel the stretch right here in the back of the rear delt, and then back up. Try it a couple. Make sure there's no pain, discomfort, and then try your lightest weight you got. Maybe it's a 2, maybe it's a 3. A couple of those. And if you think, yeah, there's no discomfort, maybe I could do 4 or 5. You can try it, but just know you're not going to do as many reps. And ideally, maybe do 8 to 10 reps here. You want to keep this arm bone steady, but it is rotating. So I'm not going to let it slide and move up and down. It's going to stay in the same general position with rotation. Actually, I already feel the fire burn, and I've only done a couple. Woohoo! That's all I can handle. All right, let's switch sides. All right, here we go. Well, you do it first with nothing, just to gauge, make sure everything is situated well. And then try it with a lighter weight. If you want to go a little heavier, always options, right? This is slow controls. The heavier, the slower. This one took a little bit longer for me to feel like I was actually doing some work. So this rotator might be stronger than the other side for me. And let's finish that out. Okay, we're gonna do a reverse tabletop and reverse plank. So your hands are gonna come back behind you. Now your finger placement is really kind of a personal choice here. I like the fingers facing my hips because this way I could bend my elbows. I could also turn my fingers out to the side, but bending the elbows kind of feels a little more awkward. And if I turn my hands all the way backwards, you really can't hardly bend your elbows at all. And I just feel like that puts a lot of strain in the front of the shoulder. So find a position for your hands. You're going to lift your hips up, lower down. Then you're going to straighten the legs. Now, not all the way straight, but micro bending those knees so that you're working your hamstrings. Push through those shoulders, lift the hips up, and lower down. Come back in, squeeze tush, lower down, straighten legs, or lengthen legs, push up, and lower down. Again, push up, extend, and push up. You can strengthen the shoulders and the wrist, as well as the back body, hips and hamstrings. You're going to come onto your stomach and we're going to do shoulder scapular push-ups. So it's exactly what you're thinking. You're going to move your scapulas or your shoulder blades in and out as much as possible. I like to do this on the knees and on the elbows. The knees back a little bit so that I can tuck my tailbone under and around the spine. I'm going to push hard into the arms and then relax a little bit, bringing them together. So I feel like I'm going up and down and slightly forward and back. I'm trying to get as much range as I can. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Come all the way down onto your stomach. You're going to place your forehead onto the mat, and we're going to do reverse snow angels. So the arms are going to come by the hips, and they're going to reach up towards your head, and then lower down, and then lift and bring them back. So it might look like this. Forehead is down, feet are down, arms come up. You're going to keep them straight and sweep them forward, as far forward as you can, and lower down. And then you're going to lift them up, sweep them back, and then lower down. All right, let's try a few of those. And last one. Next, we're going to lift the legs. We're going to lift right leg, then left leg. You can use your hands as a little like support for your forehead. So I got like a little fist going. You lift right leg, then left leg. Right leg, lift it straight, and left leg. Right and left. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Child's pose, so bring your hands underneath you so you feel like you're doing a push-up to come up. And then sit your hips back to stretch it out. So now we're going to go from child's pose onto our belly, into a skydiver, and then back to child's pose. But as you transition from this position to your stomach, I want you to really feel like you're giving me a slow, controlled push-up. So my arms are going to reach forward. I'm going to shift forward with the arms straight, and then feel the abs engage. From here, I'm going to bend the elbows, but I'm going to go backwards more towards my ribs and versus out to the side. Then I'm going to skydive. Arms come out, legs come up, and then I'm going to come back into that push-up position, push myself back up, and really try to keep my body straight, and then sit the hips back. All right, here we go. Shift forward, lower down, skydive, push up, and sit back, stretch. And we go. Shift forward, lower down, skydive, push up, sit it back. And we go again. Shift forward, lower down, skydive, push up, sit it back. Let's go again. Shift forward, lower down, skydive, push up, and sit it back. All right, down dog. You're gonna lift your knees and lengthen the legs. I want you to widen your stance in your down dog. And you're gonna reach for toes. So you're gonna take your right hand and reach towards your left toe or ankle or shin, and then change. Building strength in the shoulder. And change. Belly in. Now your knees can be soft if you've got tight hamstrings. Let's finish this one out and come to rest. Come down to your knees and kneel upright. Whew. Reverse Nordic to stretch out and strengthen the quads. So your feet ideally are flat. Squeeze your glutes. Belly in, lengthen the spine. Reach the arms forward and you're going to lean back a little ways. Now it's not a back bend, it's a lean back. I always feel like I'm in the movie The Matrix. I'm trying to do the Keanu, Matrix movie positions, except for he had props holding him up. And one more. Nice. All right, so next we're going to do a leapfrog, and we're actually going to travel this forward. So I'm going to see, I don't have a whole lot of room here, but maybe you've got more room at home. So you're going to come up to like a squat. Your feet are wide. You're going to take your hands forward onto the mat, and then you're going to hop forward and land with your feet really wide. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's go through my legs. There we go. Hands go forward, hop it forward, and land. Forward. Okay? When you run out of room, you go backwards. You're going to take your feet back, jump them back, hands come in. Jump them back, hands come in. Now this is your kind of like final thigh burn, right? We just did those reverse Nordics. And now you're doing leapfrogs, burning the thighs, working the shoulders, and then reverse. You can pick up the pace on that too, okay? All right, try one more little round, and then you're gonna join me seated. In your seated position, you're going to need a resistance band, something long that you can pull on. We're gonna do seated rows. So you're gonna extend the legs out. You're gonna put your band around your feet, and then we're gonna pull. Now my band is a little bit on the easy side, so I'm gonna double up my band. Pulling the elbows back. You want to feel the initiation. I mean, you're gonna probably feel it in your biceps. Of course, your biceps are working, but I don't want you to feel like you're using your biceps to pull. I want you to feel like it's your upper back muscles and between your shoulder blades doing the work. So one of the things you can do is like loosen your grip a little bit, not grip so hard. So if you squeeze with your hand hard, that will trigger your bicep to turn on hard. You relax a little bit through the fingers while you're pulling. Through the hand, you might be able to take that little bit of bicep tendon out, or bicep muscle out. Five more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. You're going to put this band down. We're going to get your light weights, and we're going to come onto our back, and we're going to put our arms in what I call the serving tray. So it's a micro bend in the elbows, like I've got a couple of trays, right? I'm holding our cocktails. But you're going to lie down on your back with your head lifted. And you've got your serving tray. Don't let them fall. And we're going to bicycle the legs. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pull the knees in. Keep holding your bicep or your trays. Arms are off the floor. Hold them. Arms working. And rest. Woo. I'm going to give you some windshield wipers. So your feet are going to go wide and roll the knees from side to side. You can also pick your arms up over your head to get a stretch a little bit more underneath the arm, releasing some of the tension in your shoulder, in your neck. And then heel toe your feet together. And you're going to roll over onto one side. Now I'm going to roll onto my right side. And what you're going to do, you can put a pillow in front of this leg, and that sometimes makes it more comfortable, but you don't have to. You can just kind of have the knee up. You're going to reach for your bottom leg. I'm going to reach for my right leg with my left hand. I'm going to then pull that knee back a little bit, so I'm getting a quad stretch. I can stay right here on my side if that's enough, or you can open to a twist. It's called cat's tail. It's as if I've got my cat tail. I'm holding it and I'm twisting open. It's like a contortionist cat. So what's nice about this is you're getting that front bicep stretch and your pec stretch, and you're also getting a quad stretch as well as a spinal twist. And then release. You can come back onto your side, release your foot, and then you can switch to the other side. I'm going to roll over, but you can just flip yourself. All right, onto the side. And your top leg is going to come more in front, right? As if I could rest it on a pillow, like a side sleeping position. And then the bottom leg, I'm going to grab with my top hand. So I'm grabbing my left foot with my right hand. And then I'm going to move this knee towards the foot of the mat. so I get a good stretch. And then from there, I'm going to start to relax and maybe twist open a little bit, letting the shoulder open. And release. Coming onto your stomach for a back bend of your choice. You can go ahead and prop yourself up. You can bend right knee. You can grab a hold. This would be a back bend. You could also just stay here. You could grab both feet. You could also go into full cobra, hands by your lower ribs, pushing yourself up. Here's some options for back bends. Back bends is a very individualized protocol. So you've got to find what feels good to you. And then lower down and take a child's pose. Bring your knees together for your child's pose so that you can round the spine. Bringing the elbows in and your nose close to your knees. And release. And make your way to seated. All right, guys, that concludes the class for today. Hopefully you enjoyed your total body fitness with a little bit more arm focus. We use a big stability ball, resistance bands, and weights, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.